everybody? It's Rox, and I'm coming to you today with the review for The Real Housewives of Atlanta, part 1 of the reunion. Still got 2 more to go, but this is the first one, so let's get to the show. Alright, y'all, so I thought the show was pretty damn good. Like, I was entertained for the whole hour that it was on. You guys know how I feel about these reunion shows. I think that they are a waste of time and that they are pointless unless you are really going to start tackling some of the issues from, you know, the season before. I know that I was not up to watching a whole hour of them talking about what happened in the season, because really it was a very boring season. It was only a few highlights throughout the 20 episodes that they had. So, I was just like, this is going to be one of those. But I had already heard a lot about the reunion, so I was looking forward to it. And it really did deliver. Everybody looked good. The hair was done. The makeup was right. Their clothes were really nice. The titties was on display. Everybody had cleavage and boobage and hey, whatever works. But yeah, them girls came and they was ready to talk about the shit. So, they got right down to business. I like Andy. I think that he's a good host. I think that the girls all have some sort of relationship with him. And I think that they all trust him and respect him. And he's vested in the show. So I think that he always does a really good job of asking the questions that we want to know. Saying things and not really getting a shut off or, a cut off type of answer from the girls. I mean, he's able to pull out whatever he needs to get out of the girls usually, as opposed to like a John Sally, who I really don't even think that watches Basketball Wives really, and then they have him do the review and it's just not as good. Andy obviously watches the show, very vested in the show, like I said, and really has a lot to say about everything. So I do enjoy watching Andy be the host. Oh my God, one of my weird co-workers just walking up and down the parking lot. It's like weird. So, he opens with like an intro to each girl. He has Kim sitting next to him, and then it's Kim, Sheree, and Phaedra on one side, and then on the other side it's Nene, Cynthia, and Candy. So he goes around the little group half semicircle. First he talks about Kim's ring and how beautiful it is. He mentions to Sheree that she looks nice in her clothes. It wasn't She by Sheree, and Sheree had the nerve to say that it was going to be coming back soon. Sheree, if you don't stop it. Then he talks about Phaedra's big ass, or I think he called her dunktacular. He talks to Nene. She says she's feeling very gleeful and rich. Cynthia, he goes on and on about her hair. You guys listen. Cynthia's hair is always fucked up to me. She always looks nice on her one-on-ones, but he always makes such a big to-do about her hair. To me, her hair don't be right, ever. The hair yesterday was greasy and looked like it was freshly shaken out the bag and just put in. I mean, can we comb the curls out? Can we comb the waves out? But Andy loves her hair, which is interesting because usually gay guys is really, really on with knowing what your hair should look like as a black woman. Then he mentions to Candy something cute about whether or not her seat had a vibrator in it. Once we got the pleasantries out the way, then honey, them girls was ready to fight. Alright, so first off, he asked Cynthia about how she is adjusting to life in Atlanta. And I think I told you guys before that I like the New York Cynthia way better than I like the Atlanta Cynthia. I just never feel like Cynthia belongs here. Like, she can't find her footing here. When she was in New York on that episode, I looked at her differently just for that one episode, because once she got here, the bullshit started again. They brought up the whole thing with the labels. And you guys, Atlanta is very fake and phony when it comes to certain things. And she was just like, everybody's labeled, crazy. And New York, you just put it on. And I don't even know if it has anything to do with the states or whatever. It's just the culture here is just very, very new rich. Very new rich. And it happens. We've had friends who lived right around the corner from us in Inglewood, and we got out here and they was on something totally different. And it totally happens. They asked Nene, was she a label whore? And even though Nene said specifically when they were in South Africa, she called both herself and Marlo label whore. She even said that when her and Marlo went shopping together. Y'all remember that episode when they got all the clothes together, picked out all this stuff, and then when it came time to pay, Nene decided that she wasn't buying it. She said that they were label whores, but you know, yesterday she was just like, no, she ain't no label whore, and you know, she don't care about the label, and the label doesn't make Nene. Nene validates Nene. That's all fine and good, but I remember what the hell you said. You guys know how I feel about Kandi. I think she's very smart. I think she's very business minded, and I think that she's going to do well in whatever she puts her mind to do. She just has a mind that works that way. Y'all know how docile and quiet that Kandi can be when it comes to taking up for herself. So I was glad that she actually did take up for herself. When they start talking about the toys, and I'm sure that it has a lot to do with editing and people aren't just sitting there making faces, but Nene had enough faces made throughout the whole show, obviously, that they was able to cut and paste it wherever they wanted to. She's making faces. She's got all these looks on her face. It just tells you that she totally disapproves about this whole sex toy industry that Kandi is a part of. But, you know, when they brought up to Nene how she felt about it, you know, Nene was just like, and Nene was right. Granted, Nene was right. She does not have to like the toy. She doesn't have, you know, obviously, Nene's uncomfortable with the fact, with you know, overt sexuality, and which is interesting to me because her titties are always out. I mean, they be out so much that you can see underneath the cleavage. That's like titty for real. She doesn't want to buy that stuff, and you know, it shouldn't be a problem that she doesn't want to. And she's right, it's not a problem that you don't want to. I think where everybody has the problem, and what Kandi pointed out, was that you look down on it. Like, you don't have, I'm not telling you that I want you to buy my products, because my products are going to do just fine without you. What did she say? The damn dildo was $137 or some shit? Okay, they're going to do just fine without you. But I think the problem that we all have is that you think that is just very low class, or just you look down on it. And, you know, clearly you were once a stripper. So at one point you were involved heavily in the sex industry. So y'all know that Nene don't want you talking about when she was a fucking stripper. I don't know if Nene is still trying to come to terms with her past, or if she's really just trying to forget it, or what. It's just interesting now that you are, you know, rich, you have a problem with it. So like she said, we can't force a dildo down her throat or up her ass. She didn't want one up her ass today. But that's fine, but don't try to pass off hate but congratulate. You very clearly are not happy for Kandi and her successes. I don't really know what that's about. Then Andy asked her about her love life, and I thought that was really funny, because all of a sudden Kandi turned into the old tight teeth. You know, she's like, well, he's a good guy. His name is Todd, and he's a good guy. And then Andy asked her if she was in love with him, and then she was like, well, yes, I am. I am in love with him. I'm happy for Kandi. I don't know if she hasn't really had any relationships since the guy that was killed. I'm sure she has, but nothing serious enough for her to really mention it on the show. So this is a big step for her. I just hope it doesn't backfire, because you know how it is. Once you open your relationship up to the world, then it comes under pressure. I even went and found Homeboy's Instagram last night. So he's a cute guy. So I'm happy for Kandi. I hope it works out for her totally. Kim is happy with Kroy. She's happy with her new life. I think that we all can see that Kim has changed for the better. She's a different girl. She has this big announcement that we already knew by now, but that I guess then we didn't know, that she was 4 months pregnant. You know, she was locking them in. Kim, lock them in, girl. Andy asked if they're blowing through their money, because they seem to be living, you know, very high in their means. And Kim was like, listen, we are very smart about our money. I know you guys see that we buying expensive cars and renting expensive homes and things like that, but you know, we know that this isn't going to last forever, and we've made plans for it. Kroy just signed a really good deal for 3 years, and you know, we going to ride this wave for 3 years, and then we going to figure out the next step. But yeah, we know what we doing. We got it. Then he asked her about when they moved into the new house, and you know, if some of that stuff that she took was from Big Papa, and she denied that it was. And I was just like, now Kim, girl, now you know good and damn well that a lot of that stuff was afforded by Big Papa, and that you could not just afford to be buying all this expensive ass shit playing Nurse Betty and fucking working 3 17-hour shifts in a row at Grady Memorial. You didn't make all that money being no goddamn nurse. What the hell kind of fool you think we are? You trying to take us for a fool, Kim? Honey, not today, not today. Then when Andy asked her about Sweetie, y'all, Sweetie is okay. Kim said that Sweetie had been a slave for her for 12 years, and you know, once she let her go, she still understood her place. And she came to one of the girls' birthday parties in complete blackface and, you know, proceeded to do a little tap dance jig for everybody, and all the white people, they was happy as shit. Sweetie gonna tap dance for the babies. What you say I do a tap dance for everybody, boss? I say Sweetie gonna tap dance for the babies. Y'all like that, boss? What you say about that, boss? I say, do you like the tap dance, boss? Immediately when they got to talking about Sheree and her money issues and the thing with the child support and everything, Sheree got to crying. And I was looking at that screen and I just really honestly did not know how to feel about her. I obviously am sitting there thinking like, girl, you need to cut this shit out, because she was just sitting up there. Now we all know that that shit is a lie. The whole thing with that, it's a whole bunch of other problems, that she's got money issues, she can't afford shit, she's living, trying to pass off a lifestyle that she obviously does not have. And she was crying up there, and I was like, she's just faking the funk. I have faked the funk in the past, and that shit is tiresome. You can't just keep on, you got to be keeping track of lies and all of that. I was just like, oh, Sheree. She brought up feeling like Phaedra didn't handle her case correctly. And, you know, it was all this back and forth about the family lawyer and what Phaedra did and didn't do, and filing conjunctions and motions and whatever. I have a feeling that Phaedra knew what she was doing, and I think Sheree just is not really... I think there's a lot more issues to that case than what they was willing to say on the show yesterday. Phaedra, because she's professional, was just like, you know what, Sheree, I know you are the queen of throwing people under the bus, because y'all know we done seen all the shit that Sheree does. So I'm just going to let you wear the crown right now. And I thought that was very big of Phaedra, because, you know, Sheree can take you there. She likes to pull you in and get you started on something. And, you know, Phaedra just wasn't going there. Phaedra has a job that she has to do here in Atlanta, and she has to be a responsible person. And it would not help her at all to be sitting up here arguing with some old non-motherfucking factor like Sheree. Then it led into, I don't even remember how it led into it, but they started talking about whether or not Nene was rich. You know, Sheree was trying to point out the fact that, okay, you did the Trump show. We know that you only get a small stipend for the show. How all of a sudden that you was able to make all this money and become rich off of what, a $25,000 stipend or something like that? I just don't understand it. Nene backpedaled off of that, you know, because we all remember very clearly she was like, I was running to the bank cashing Trump checks. That $25,000 check, even though it would make me real happy right now to get a $25,000 check. There's nothing. That's nothing in the scheme of things. You are not rich with $25,000 damn dollars. Like I said, Nene is done very well. You know, I'm sure she made more than $25,000 last year. And, you know, she said that. I can't be counting folks' pockets. I don't know how much Nene has made, but to me, rich, I don't know. When I think of somebody, I don't know nobody that I really feel is rich on that show, probably other than Candy, like Kim said. Kim is doing well for herself. And Nene everybody is doing well for themselves, but rich, that's new money rich. What is new money is not the same as money. Y'all remember that time when Chris Rock said that, there was a difference between rich and wealthy? He was saying that Shaq is rich, and he was saying the people that pay Shaq is wealthy. And I guess that's probably the difference. Maybe that's where we need to be trying to look at this whole situation. And then Nene was trying to say that, you know, what she meant was that she made a lot of connections from the show, and that, you know, including that old slimy ass John that she's seeing, or whatever their relationship is. Evidently he's supposed to be a friend of Donald Trump's. So her and Sheree get to arguing back and forth about this. And then, of course, it just turns into something else. You know, Sheree gets to talking about her teeth. And, you know, Nene was just like, don't go there with the teeth. And I just thought that the whole thing was stupid because teeth can be fixed real quick, fast, and in a hurry. Okay, you can't fix broke too fast. I'm gonna tell you, I know from experience, broke stay broke for a long time. They going back and forth arguing, right? They bring up the damn house. Now, the house, you know, Sheree was just like, I had some problems with the contractors and I had to, you know, it was all these legal issues and blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, girl, please. You ain't even poured a motherfucking foundation down. You ain't had no problems. That shit was never happening. What about when Nene called that shit Neverland? I'm telling you, Sheree was like, Nene, I think you called it something. I mean, Sheree actually brought it to Nene's attention. And Nene was like, no, I think I called it Neverland. Andy was just like, why you call it Neverland? And she's like, because it's Neverland. There's nothing ever gonna happen there. And she didn't back down off of that shit. And let me tell you, that shit was so funny. She was just like, well, did you go by the house to see? Nene was like, what the fuck I'm gonna go by there and visit some goddamn sticks and dirt for? And Sheree was just like, oh, there wasn't a no trespassing sign out there. There should have been a no trespassing sign out there. And I'm thinking to myself, like, the fuck I'm gonna be no trespassing into some goddamn dirt? Ain't nobody like, we finna go on by Sheree's dirt, see what they got going over there. Y'all seen that dirt? Ooh, it's so nice. And them sticks, girl, I'm telling you, ain't nobody seen no sticks like that in a long time. That shit was funny as hell. And that damn Sheree was just walking into the landmines, just left and right. I felt like, nigga, shut up. Just like when Marlo, y'all remember what Marlo did to her? It was the same thing. You couldn't even hear what the hell Sheree was saying. I mean, Nene just shut that shit down so fast. I feel like Sheree needs to take a class in like confrontation and comebacks. Like, bitch, you need to get to somebody and they need to tell you exactly what to throw back on them. She gonna say something about she got a whole bunch of furniture and that shit is in storage. For real? The fuck is it doing in storage? You up here fucking your back up on the goddamn blow mattress. I done been on plenty blow mattresses before. I know that shit hurt. You clearly, if you have it, then you would have had it out, right? I mean, we gonna have it in the damn storage. We just paying on the storage every month. Then Sheree, y'all know how it is when you be pummeled and you just be trying to grasp at something, trying to just grab something and just so you can redeem yourself. She hits below the belt and she brings up the Bryce situation. Now, y'all know how I feel about that situation. I've said it plenty of times. Your children's mistakes are not your mistakes. It's not your problem that you have a child that fucks up. Once they become an adult, you raise them the best way you can. You set them out to the world, and you hope that they make the best choices. Now, that's what Nene was trying to tell Sheree. And Sheree should have felt stupid for saying that. She was trying to make Nene feel bad. What it actually ended up doing was making her look worse. Like, you gonna just bring up this little boy that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. We talking about us on this show. We not talking about our kids. We ain't talking about you, your kids. So I felt Nene on that. She was pissed. And she should have been. I would be very pissed. And I think most parents would be pissed, including Sheree, if you would talk about your child in a situation that has nothing to do with them. Throughout the show, you guys, they're trying to get a reaction out of Nene, and it's working. Nene is so funky, so defensive all the time. You know, the whole show, they're arguing about Twitter and the timelines and the mentions and everything. And y'all, that Twitter is the devil. I thought that a long time ago. Slowly but surely, I'm getting sucked into it. But that Twitter is so many fucking problems. One day, I'm going to make a video about Twitter and how that it has to be a nightmare for PR people and their celebrities that they represent. It's like, because the celebrities have so much free reign over their life, when before they couldn't. They had to rely on their PR people. Now they just say whatever the fuck they want to say, and then, you know, they have to pay for it later. I mean, we see it all the time with Chris Brown. He is forever saying shit that he shouldn't be saying. Anyways, they bring up whether or not Nene has changed for the better or the worse, and I thought that was interesting. But like I said, they trying it with Nene. First, everybody's quiet. Then Cynthia, like the good miniature greyhound that she is, she looked just like my girlfriend Val's miniature greyhound, y'all. I'm telling you. I'm mad that I didn't never realize that until now. She was like, I think that Nene has changed for the better because, you know, she's doing her acting and she's doing her thing. And then after she finished, she looked over at Nene like, did I do good? You did very well, but I don't have any treats in my pocket right now, so you're going to have to wait. And then, because nobody is speaking up, Andy asked Phaedra the same question. And Phaedra, like I said, Phaedra's very mature. Phaedra was just like, it's really hard to say. We have so much tension between all of us that, you know, you can't really tell if somebody is acting better or worse. You know, Nene is over there shaking her head just like, and instead of, you know, accepting the fact that Phaedra just kind of threw her a bone, you know, Nene then still takes that moment and she plays the victim very well. Nene is a professional victim. I don't like Nene, and you guys know that. I used to love Nene the first couple of seasons. Last season it was iffy, and then this season I just really haven't liked her. Mostly because she's so high up on her horses that she can't see nothing below her. She is still loud, still very boisterous, still takes over the conversations. The whole time that anybody would get into an argument with her, she would just continue on and continue on and continue on. She has no respect for people that I think that she feels like she's better than. She is still very new, rich, silly. Still thinks that everybody is hating on her, and still feels like she has no fault in the reasons that people react to her the way that they do. I think that she's funny. I think that her baseline is somebody that I would like. She has become this new money snob, and you guys know I don't like snobs. You guys remember the very first season when Sheree was talking about how she was part of the Atlanta elite and how she wouldn't even let Kim and Nene in the goddamn birthday party that she was having. Do you guys remember that? Okay, look at where Sheree is today. And look at how we all feel about Sheree today. Yeah, chances are Nene is going to fall on her ass, and, you know, we might all be around to see it. Alright, you guys, that's it. Let me just tell you guys about this whole partnership thing. You guys know I did the video and edited and put it up the next day. I was real excited about everything. And then I found out that the partnership is not exactly how I thought it was when I had been applying a few months ago. And, you know, basically, they have approved a lot of people to become partners and, you know, monetizing your videos. Now, I've been monetizing my videos the whole time, so really it's not changing much. I mean, I just know that I am going to continue to push my channel forward, and I know that in time everything is going to happen the way I want to. But the thing I'm more mad about than anything is them fucking thumbnails. Didn't y'all hear me tell you how I was just really excited about changing my thumbnails? Now I find out I can't do it. So y'all, thank you guys all so much for you guys being really excited for me, but they've changed it. They've changed the program, and I was upset about it, but I've gotten over it because, like I said, I'm just going to keep on doing my channel the way I've been doing my channel. Now, see what happens when you try to put a fucking video up like very, very fast the very next day. I should have just waited, and then I wouldn't have been putting nothing up once I found out how it worked. But that's it, y'all. I know this video was really long, but it was a lot to talk about. Now I got to rush and go get me something to eat so I can get back to my desk. You guys remember to rate, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I'm itsrox, and the channel is for itsrox. And everything else that I am involved in will be in the bottom bar below, okay? Alright, so I hope that you guys all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Until next time, rock stars. Bye.